coaches, real community, real conversations. Welcome to the RedCard Podcast. Let's get into it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is Coach D, and today is going to be for parents and coaches. We're going to talk about high school and club volleyball, the comparison and contrast between them, and how it affects the culture as a whole, as well as the kids individually. I had a conversation last week with a parent who spent $5,000 on their daughter's club season. It's a lot of money. The kid played maybe 40% of the matches, and when the parent asked the coach about it, they got the speech. She needs to work harder. The girls getting playing time are just more committed. Here's what the coach didn't say. The girls getting the play time had a private training with that same coach, $75 an hour, twice a week. And here's the truth. I'm going to say something that might get me red carded from the club volleyball establishment. We have built a system that is fundamentally broken, and we're all complicit in keeping it that way because it benefits some of us financially, competitively, or ego-wise. Let me break that down to what nobody wants to admit. Let's talk about some numbers. USA membership hit 408,000 in the 22-23 season, a 9.6 increase and the largest growth since 98. That's crazy, right? Because volleyball is booming. More kids playing, more opportunities, more development, more exposure. Here's what those numbers don't show you. High school volleyball participation is around 452,000 girls and 96,000 boys nationally. But USA Volleyball Club membership is only 408,000 total. And that includes adults, boys, girls of all age groups. Now, if we do the math, that means roughly 60 to 70% of high school volleyball players don't play club at all. Now, ask yourself, when was the last time your club coach talked about developing high school players? When was the last time that they celebrated a kid making varsity instead of just worrying about who got the D1 offers? We've created a system where the majority of players are irrelevant to the conversation. And we wonder why kids quit. Here's what the club volleyball websites will tell you. Club offers higher competition. Club gets you exposure to college coaches. Club offers year-round development. Club has better coaching. And all of that can be true. But here's what they won't tell you. High school volleyball is about the team. Club volleyball is about the transaction. In high school, you're playing for your school. You're playing for your classmates. You're playing for your community. The coach is usually a teacher or a staff member who's not getting rich off your kid. The season is 3 months, then it's over. There's a beginning, a middle, an end. Kind of feels like a story. In the club, you're a customer. You pay $2,000 to $7,000 plus travel for the season. The coach is running a business. The season runs 7 to 8 months, October or November through June. And here's the kicker. Over 95% of college recruiting happens during club season, not high school season. Which means if you're serious about playing in college, you have to play club. High school ball is basically irrelevant for recruiting. Let me be blunt. Favoritism in club volleyball is not the exception. It's the norm. I'm not saying every coach is corrupt. I'm saying the system incentivizes favoritism, and we're all navigating it. Here's how it works: the private lesson pipeline. Coaches offer private lessons, say 60 to 100 an hour. The kid who takes private gets more attention, gets more feedback, and let's be honest, more playing time. Is it because they're working harder? Maybe. Or maybe it's because the coach has a financial relationship with that family that makes it really hard to be objective. Then there's the club within the club. Some clubs have their top teams trained separately with different coaches at different times. The kids on those teams get better facilities. They might get a preferable court, more coaching, insider info about tournaments and recruiting. The kids on the lower teams, they're funding the operation. They're subsidizing the elites playing experience, and nobody tells them that. The parent who volunteers, the parent who team manages, who also drives the equipment, who also organizes the team dinners, their kid often gets the benefit of the doubt, but not always. But often enough, every parent knows that's a strategy. Then there's the gaslighting. When parents ask why their kid isn't playing, they're told it's about effort, attitude, or skill. Sometimes that's true. But sometimes the kid getting more court time is a coach's private lesson client, or the director's daughter, or the kid whose parents donated to the club. One thing that I can say, a club I was at, and I didn't understand it at first, but I understood it later, and it made so much more sense. They wouldn't let, if you gave your kids privates, they wouldn't let, that kid couldn't be on your coached team, couldn't be on your club team. You can do as many privates as you wanted, as long as you were not, that kid was not on your team. And I thought simply because of the optics, that worked out better, because I later saw how a lot of parents would get mad because they wanted a particular coach, or even wanted me to coach them, and they would be on other teams. And I could see where that could cause not only optics, but undue pressure from parents, which was unnecessary. And when you start pointing that stuff out, you're labeled as a problem parent. I've seen it. I've been part of it. And I'm tired of pretending it's not happening. Because it happens. Here's what club volleyball promises: elite training, skill development, pathway to college. Here's what it often delivers: survival of the fittest, burnout, and a bill. Let me tell you what player development actually looks like in many club programs. You practice twice a week, sometimes 3, but 2 to 3 hours. That's it. You pay them $4,000 to $7,000 for maybe 150 hours of practice over 7 months. If you do the math at $4,000, that's $26 an hour for a coach who's managing 12 kids at once. Tournaments every other weekend, which sounds great until you realize your kid plays 4 to 5 matches in a day, maybe gets 10 to 15 minutes of coaching feedback, and then spends the rest of the time sitting. No individualized development plan. Most clubs don't have a plan for your kid. They have a plan for the team. So if your kid's already good, thumbs up, great. If they're not, they better figure it out fast, or they'll ride the bench. And here's the thing that breaks my heart. This is what hits me most. Kids internalize this. They start to believe that their worth is tied to their playing time or their team level or the recruiting offers. They stop playing because they love it. They start playing because they're trying to prove something. And that's not what this is. I've had kids tell me they don't even like playing volleyball anymore, but they can't quit because their parents spent too much money. You think about that. We've created a system where kids feel trapped in a sport they used to love. Now, here's my chin tap moment. Shout out to Ryland. I was watching a 14s match. One team was clearly more skilled, bigger, faster, better coached. They were destroying the other team. And I watched the losing team's coach just sit there, arms crossed, barely saying anything. And after the match, I heard him tell the girls, "You didn't want it enough." And I'm thinking, that's bullshit. Those girls wanted it. They were trying. They just weren't as good. That happens. And instead of coaching them, instead of using that moment to teach them something, to help them see how they could improve, he blamed their effort. And then that's when I realized we built a system that punishes kids for not being elite. Instead of meeting them where they are and helping them grow, we blame them. So what do we do about it? I don't have all the answers because I can't answer for everyone. But here's what I do know. We got to stop lying to the parents about what club volleyball is. It's not a development program for most kids. It's a business. And if you're paying for it, you deserve to know. You deserve to know what you're actually buying. Stop pretending favoritism doesn't exist. Acknowledge it. Call it out when you see it. And if you're a coach, examine your own biases. Who are you giving more attention to and why? Stop measuring success by college scholarships. Less than 2% of high school athletes play college sports at any level. And those that do, many quit within 2 years because they're burned out. If the club's only metric of success is D1 commits, you're failing 98% of your players. Start valuing the humans in front of you. That kid on your third team, which I love, who shows up every practice and gives effort, even though they're not getting recruited, that kid is learning resilience, commitment, humility, grit. That's more valuable than a scholarship. So I believe we can do better. We have to do better. And it starts with telling the truth. And if saying all of this gets me ejected from the club volleyball establishment, I'll take that red card. Because I didn't get into this business of coaching to run a business. I got into coaching to help kids grow. And right now, the system is failing most of them. See you on the next podcast.
Another one is in the books. Thanks for tuning in for all the second looks. You're locked in with your favorite host. The Red Card Cast, yeah, we're signing out. We'll be back next week without a doubt.